Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, with the entry of the India COVID-19 variant in the Philippines, a health official admits the India travel ban came too late. Amid the threat of the more transmissible variant, will government push through with easing COVID-19 restrictions? And later, how should the government deal with the recent developments on the West Philippine Sea? Health spokesperson and COVID-19 variant task force head Maria Rosario Vergeire and Senator Win Gatchalian join us live. The highly transmissible double mutant variant, first detected in India, has reached the Philippines. Two returning Filipino seafarers from the Middle East were found to be carriers of the B1617. The health department says both have recovered and are no longer infectious. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Health Undersecretary and COVID-19 variant task force head, Maria Rosario Vergeire. USEC, thank you again for your time. Welcome to the source.
Good morning, Pinky, and good morning to everybody.
So the two cases that was reported yesterday, USEC, two cases now in the country of the variant from India. One arrived from Oman April 10, and the other one from the UAE last April 19 rather. The good news is both have recovered, but one has gone back to Soxargen, I believe the other one in the Bicol region. What else can you tell us about these two individuals or the circumstances surrounding their cases?
Well, these two individuals actually have completed their isolation. One, the 37-year-old male from Oman, arrived in the country on April 10, and he was able to finish his quarantine and isolation on April 26, actually. When he went back to his hometown, he was again required to have another round of quarantine. So it was just last May 10 that he was declared recovered and was released from quarantine. And when we checked on his status, he is still asymptomatic. He doesn't have any symptoms at all. And he is still practicing minimum health standards and at home and is not going out. The other one, the 58-year-old male who arrived on April 19, coming from the United Arab Emirates, have completed also his quarantine on May 6. And on May 6, he was declared recovered. And when we were able to track him, he was also at home and he is asymptomatic.
So it's good that ang haba din po ng period, no, USEC, when we look at it dun sa kaso ng dalawa. But the more important question would be, meron ho ba silang mga close contacts? And if so, nahanap na ho ba sila?
Actually, if we look at our protocols, no, a returning overseas Filipino arrives in the country, they get to be quarantined, and because of the previous protocol that we test on the 5th or the 6th day, they stay in quarantine until the results are out. And after the results are out, and if they turn out to be positive, they get to be transferred in an isolation facility and has to start again the 14 days or 10 to 14 days isolation period. So by saying that, they were able to complete this 14 days period or even more. And so close contacts are not really something that we need to worry about. But what we are looking right now would be their co-passengers in their flights. And we were able to locate, we got the manifesto and we got the arrangement of seats in the airplane where they have seated. And we looked at our the circle, no, where we have this definition of close contact. And most of them really are negative. We're just trying to verify the other passengers.
So I understand that, no, USEC, doon po sa airplano, merong area doon that would be classified as close contact of this positive individual. But so far, let's talk about the one from Oman. Ilan po yung sinasabing close contact, and the one who arrived from the UAE, ilan po yung close contact sa airplano?
Well, pag sinabi po natin na close contact at nasa aeroplano, meron po tayong protocol that we say, no? It's 4 seats behind, 4 seats in front, and then the one beside him. At yun po
Left
ang
and right.
tinitignan natin ng mga pasahero ngayon. So meron po tayong 13 pasahero na tinitignan at bine-verify po natin kung ano yung mga naging resulta ng kanilang mga RT-PCR when they arrived here.
13 in total of the 2 passengers.
Ito pong sa Oman po ang pinag-uusapan natin. Yun pong sa isa, yung galing sa UAE, kinukuha pa lang ho namin yung manifesto ng eroplano.
So hindi pa rin po alam in certainty yung sa Oman, yung 13. I know that you said that you've gotten information that there were 13 close contacts of the male individual coming from Oman. But sigurado naman po na would you know if they even turned positive at one point, Yusek?
We will know that. No? So as I've said, we're getting the information because all of these returning overseas Filipinos, they are tested on the 5th or the 6th day when they arrive. So we will get the information. We're just trying to find these names in our data system so that we will know the information on their laboratory results.
Okay, let's go to the 150 plus individuals who arrived or may have had some travel history from India or passed through India. And last I heard you said 5 tested positive. And number 1, how are they? Yung po muna doon sa 5 who tested positive among the 155.
Yes, these 155 individuals are those who have had travel history from India. No, they came from India or they may have passed through India. And these 155 individuals, 5 of them turned positive. These five positive individuals we have submitted to the Philippine Genome Center their specimens for sequencing, and 2 of them were already sequenced, and these 2 individuals did not have any variants of concern. We were able to find a lineage. It's an A lineage among just 1 of these individuals, but it is not of concern really as to the variants that we are talking about. The 3 remains to be in isolation, and the 2 have already been recovered. So we are closely monitoring these individuals and waiting, if we can re-swab them and get our genome sequencing, because their CT values, the cycle threshold values, are already high because they are on that phase of recovery already.
So ang ibig ho sabihin na hindi po siya variant of concern, it means doon po dun sa dalawa, hindi po sila, the variant that infected them is not would it be right to say it's not the Indian variant, South African, the Brazil, or the UK?
Tama po yun, ma'am. No? So ang atin pong nakuhanan lang, yung isa, meron po siya ng A lineage. And this lineages parang pong mga family tree yan. Hinahanap lang po natin yung mga kung saan sila nanggaling. But this lineage, as explained by our experts from the Philippine Genome Center, is not really of concern.
Okay. Yusek, how long does it take for the Genome Center to actually evaluate or genome sequence a sample?
Well, it depends, Pinky. So we have different types of machines in the Philippine Genome Center. We have this high throughput machine, which we regularly use, and it can accommodate around 750 samples. And these 750 samples have to be tested in batches. So hindi tayo pwedeng isa lang, dalawa lang, kailangan 750 in one run. And when they do their runs, nakakapag-run yan, mga 2 araw pinoproseso yung run, pero there are still other processes that are required, kaya it takes them about 4 to 5 days bago ma-release ang resulta kapag 750 na batch. Pero meron tayong machine dito sa Philippine Center which can run only 25, and in 1 to 2 days you can have the results already.
Okay, let's move to the MV Athens bridge, yung pong container vessel, USEC. So 12 were positive. I-genome sequence na or genome sequence na rin ho ba? Sinabmit na ho ba sa Genome Center yung 12 that tested positive?
Yes, ma'am. So yesterday, it was already submitted to the Philippine Genome Center. And out of the 12 specimens that was submitted, only 9 were acceptable based on the criteria of the Philippine Genome Center. So we are going to do a re-swab so that we can get the other three, which were not
Okay.
acceptable yesterday based on the criteria.
Okay. All right. Yusek Vergeire, I'm going to have to say thank you to you. I think I felt a little bit of shaking here at home. So we're going to take a very short break. Undersecretary Vergeire, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Okay, to those watching us, I'm a little nervous because meron po akong ilaw dito na mukhang lumindol po. So I will be right back.